Hello, my name is Masha and welcome to a real-time Not With Me. I haven't done one of these in a really long time, and I've actually never done one of these in this specific format. I'm recording the voiceover a little bit later because it was very uncomfortable to speak and not at the same time. But also, I don't really usually show my hands in Not With Me's, mainly because of the way that I film. I can't say that this is particularly comfortable, but I've posted a couple of TikToks and Reels and YouTube Shorts as well, where I show you my hands during the process of bracelet making, and you guys seem to really like that. I think because I don't really show you that particularly often, it's probably very interesting to see, so I thought I would, try an actual video as well. I probably didn't set up the shot quite correctly because there's still some knotting happening a little bit out of frame here and there, but this video isn't cut, there's no cuts. Well, actually, I lie, there is one cut where I'm repositioning the frame. The more of the bracelet I make, the kind of further down it gets, so then I had to reposition the camera a little bit lower so you can still continue to see me making the bracelet. So there is one cut, but otherwise, this is just me knotting in real time. So yeah. I thought we could hang out a little bit. I haven't actually posted a video in quite a while, which you may or may not have noticed. I have received a few messages concerned. I'm alright, I just tend to fall off the face of the internet occasionally, but I'm doing alright. I haven't actually made a bracelet in a really long time, and I thought that's part of what we could talk about today. I thought we could talk about hobbies and in general, just like how, I don't know, life changes and you go in waves with your hobbies. I feel like this is a very common thing in any kind of hobby, really. I posted a TikTok that I saw the other day on my Instagram story where there was someone talking about how like it's a canon event for people to like create a hobby account, like an Instagram account or something, start sharing stuff, and then perpetually for the rest of time log into that account to say like, oh, I'm sorry, I've been gone for a while, I really want to take this back up, etc. And so it seems to be like a common thing where people start a hobby and then just kind of fall out of it, I guess, and perpetually go in and out. I don't tend to kind of come back and apologize for being gone, if that makes sense. I mean, obviously, if it's been a while, like it's been now, I'll acknowledge it. I won't not acknowledge it, especially when I receive messages of people genuinely concerned. But I tend to like not really apologize for that because I feel like it's kind of a natural behavior with any kind of hobby. And when I posted that to my Instagram story, I saw a lot of people kind of responding with messages of saying like, hey, yeah, this is definitely me. This is what I do. But, I don't even know what my point with that was. I just found that interesting that, like, it's a common thing that people go through. But for me, definitely, I get questions as well because I make videos on the internet, especially, like, these long-form YouTube videos and tutorials and stuff. And I've been doing it for so long, even, bracelet making in general, before I started making videos, I did that for a really long time. I started making bracelets in 2009. Which ages me significantly, but yeah, I mean, I was 11 and I'm now 26, so there you go. But yeah, I've been doing this for a long time, so people ask me like, how do you not get sick of it? How do you not, how do you continue making this? Like, are you not tired? I do. That's just the answer. I do get sick of it, but not in a like, I'm never going to do this kind of way. I want to focus on something else for a little while kind of way, and I always come back to it. But yeah, this is my first bracelet in, I think since like August, and if you're watching this in the future, it is currently November, so it's been a while. And even in August, I think I made like one bracelet where I was trying to like get myself back into it, and then I didn't. So it's been kind of a bit of a longer break for me. I don't typically have such long breaks, but yeah, no, I focus on other things. I'm a creative person by nature, just in general, I guess, throughout my life. And so I have all of this like creative energy that needs to go somewhere. And so if I'm not making bracelets, it kind of ends up going in a bunch of other places. First of all, I read a lot. That's one of my main hobbies as well. I would say that's like on par with bracelet making in terms of how much time I spend doing it. I read somewhere between like 50 to 65 books a year, something like that. And I listen to audiobooks. That's part of that. If you're wondering, like, how are you doing that many? Part of that is audiobooks. I'd say probably like a third of that is audiobooks. And then the rest is either digital reading. I have an e-reader. I love my Kobo Libra. And then physical books as well. So that's my kind of second biggest hobby, but like that's not particularly creative. That's just something I enjoy doing as well as like a hobby. But in terms of creativity, yeah, my creative energy needs to go somewhere. So if I'm not bracelet making, I am journaling. I love journaling. I've done a few vlogs where I show you my journals and also like journal with you. So if you're interested in that, maybe we can hang out there. So journaling is definitely a big hobby of mine. I pour myself into those and I try to like make them really pretty with a bunch of collages and stickers and stuff. Or you know, I do a little bit of cross stitching here and there, but mainly it's mainly like video games, to be honest. I love to play Stardew Valley, and I find that to be a very creative game as well. I really enjoy the creative expression of just like organizing my farm exactly the way that I want it to be. But then not only that, I play The Sims a lot, and you know, if you've been following me for a while and if you've heard my like random rants here and there about random topics, I've spoken about how I don't like The Sims 4 very much for a while. In fact, on my second channel, which I haven't posted on in ages and probably won't, to be honest, for a while, I have a whole video of like why I don't like The Sims 4 and why I prefer Sims 2 and 3. I never played Sims 1 for context as well, so it's always been 2 and 3 for me, which I have both on my PC as well. Like I have 2 and 3 and occasionally play them. But anyway, my point is I don't like it very much. I don't like The Sims 4 very much, but I've recently downloaded a bunch of mods, 90% of which just like fix little annoyances that I have with the game where like the game doesn't work exactly how I want it to. So it just like fixes specific issues that I find annoying. But a couple of them are also gameplay mods, which I found very interesting. And that just completely sparked my creativity to the point where I now have a blog that I run exclusively for my friends. I will not be sharing this. I share it with like 4 people. But yeah, I have a blog that I run with my Sims stories where I play The Sims, I take screenshots throughout my gameplay, and then I write little descriptions of things that are happening. It kind of became it started off as a one-time thing because I was like playing the game and telling my friends about it, and they got really interested and asked me for screenshots. And so I sent them a few, and then one other person asked, I sent them a few, and then my husband asked, I sent him a bunch of screenshots. My sister asked, I sent her a bunch of screenshots. And then I realized I got really tired of like sending these screenshots to all of these different chats and like rewriting the whole thing all the time. And they wanted to like know how the story continues, right? Because I'm doing like a whole legacy plot line. There's the storylines, there's POV characters, and it's like a whole thing. And so in order to continue updating them on how it's going, I basically literally just like created a WordPress blog onto which I upload these screenshots and like I write descriptions for what's going on. But it ended up becoming, there's like 30 chapters of it now. I am very deep into the story. It started off with 2 Sims. There's like, I don't know, 30 on the family tree right now and like 76 based on my plans. So there's quite a lot going on. But it now became like kind of a writing project. I might have talked about this before, but I've been trying to write a book for a while now. I actually have like a general idea for a story. I've started world building. I'm trying to make it like a fantasy book. And I want to base it on like Slavic folklore and stuff. But not the point. Point is that I've been trying to do that for a while and it's not really going anywhere. And I've been trying to figure out like different ways to maybe just like practice writing if the book isn't writing itself, right? Like there's some kind of roadblock there. I still want to practice my writing and I still want to like do different writing exercises because I just find that very interesting. And it's been something that I've been really interested in since childhood. I even took a few like creative writing classes and stuff. So the book isn't writing itself, but these Sim stories that I shared as just like screenshots and, you know, little fun tidbits here and there, they kind of became a whole writing project where I'm now actually writing each chapter like as a proper thing. And they're about like 2,500-3,000 words each now, which is insane. But I've just really been enjoying that. And then, the book has actually written a little bit. I've written like 3 chapters of the book and I've been planning it out. So that's just what all of my creative energy has been poured into. Not to say that like I'm not going to return to bracelets because obviously here I am and I'm doing this here again now. But just my point is, yeah, I flip-flop, you know, I do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and here I am, and I'm back, and I'm all right. Thank you for messaging me if you have. I really appreciate that, and that actually does get me back into posting videos again sooner when people like write nice messages to be like, hey, I really enjoy your content, haven't seen you in a while, when are you coming back? That makes me feel really nice, and thank you for that. I recently went to the string shop. Well, because I'm actually in Moscow right now, if I did say. I've been here for about a month and a half. I'm coming back to London in about 2 weeks, I think. But yeah, I've been here for a while. I don't have any strings here. I didn't bring my entire string stash with me. So this bracelet that I'm making here is one that I made out of a bunch of scrap thread that I found just like lying around here from whatever previous time that I was here, and I bought a bunch of strings, so that's pretty fun. But yeah, I recently went to the string shop and I bought strings specifically for 6 bracelets that I want to make. And I think all 6 of them are tutorials, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure all of them were planned as tutorials. So yeah, that's going to happen at some point. I don't know when, to be honest, because I've been just really busy while I'm here. I've been meeting friends and family and seeing people, so like most of my weekends are already busy, so hopefully I'll have some time during the week to film something, but I don't know. Thankfully I work from home, so like there's often I can find a time throughout the workday, like specifically like during lunch, and also because I work, I'm in Moscow, but I work UK hours, which means that I work from like 12 to 9, so I can do it before, you know, I wake up a little earlier than 12 during the day. So if I wake up a little early, I can maybe film something before the workday starts and then a little bit during lunch. So, you know, working from home allows for you to do that, which is really nice. That's how I'm able to get most of my videos out. But yeah, anyway, point is I bought strings for like 6 bracelets that I'm planning on making. So lots of stuff coming. You can probably get spoilers for what I'm planning by like looking at my to-dos on Bracelet Book, which I know a lot of you do because you message me about it, and I find that really funny. Like you can properly stalk me and figure out my plans based on like my recent to-dos. So if you want to do that, you can. My Bracelet Book is linked in the description as always, but yeah, I just find it funny whenever you message me about that. But yeah, this video is coming to an end now, from what I can see. I'm doing a voiceover so I can see how much time is left. I like that. But yeah, I really enjoyed making this one. I actually haven't finished it yet. I want to film myself making the triangle end for the end and post that on Instagram as well. Because I like to film little pieces of, like little parts of making the bracelet so that you guys can see like how each individual part is done. Because often I find that that's actually a lot more informative. Like there was one reel that I posted a few months ago where I showed you how I made the triangle end for one of the bracelets, but like I flipped it first and then I showed you, and you guys didn't realize that I do that sometimes. I don't do it for every bracelet. I'm not going to do it for this one, but I do it occasionally, and you guys didn't realize that. So little reels like that can be quite helpful, and I find that really interesting. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. A special shout out to my patrons, of course, as always. I really, really appreciate your support. If you also want to become a patron and support the work that I do here, the link to that is in the description. My book, The Beginner's Guide to Friendship Bracelets, is now out. It's also linked in the description, and I would love it if you guys would have a look at that. But in any case, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye!